let's go back talking about, the Vikings. You have the luxury of, you grew up in Detroit Lakes, Minnesota. You're a Viking fan growing up, and oddly enough, you're playing for the same team that you were cheering for as a child. But what kind of fan were you when you were a youngster? Do you have any memorable moments that you remember from the Vikings growing up cheering for them as a youngster?
Yeah, I mean, the first things that come to mind are just, watching Randy Moss and Cris Carter, Jake Reed. I mean, literally those guys are the reason why I wanted to play receiver. Like after watching those guys, I'm like, yeah, there's no other position for me. Like I don't even want to try. Right. I love catching the football. I love making those crazy catches. I remember, as a kid, watching the game and then being yelling at my dad, hey, throw me this. I'm going to dive into the beanbag, pretend like I'm Cris Carter on the sideline. And those are my biggest memories of a Vikings fan. Going to games, I was lucky enough to go to a few games as a kid. My dad would take me usually to the Packer Viking game, which was pretty crazy atmosphere in the Metrodome.
The Metrodome, yes, the Metrodome.
Yeah, I love the Metrodome. So the crazy part about the Metrodome is everybody thought it was a piece of junk, and my first year in the NFL was the last year of the Metrodome. So I actually got to play in the Metrodome. And I remember as a kid, we had the first thing we got when we got to training camp in high school was a pamphlet, and all it had was a picture of the Metrodome on it. Because that was the goal, state championship at the Metrodome. Mm-hmm. And I always wanted to play there. My senior year, we went undefeated, went to the section championship game to go to state. And, we lose. Our quarterback breaks his thumb the second play of the game. Mm-hmm. And so didn't make it there ever. But then, fast forward, got to play preseason games in there my rookie year. And I was on practice squad, so I never played an actual regular season game there. But it was pretty cool to be able to take that full circle.
Yeah, I remember I played in the Metrodome my rookie year in 2005, and just growing up a football fan. Say it again.
I said that sucker used to get loud.
Oh, no question. But I remember because the Twins used to play there as well. So I remember when we got in the stadium, we kind of saw the baseball setup and everything like that. But the visiting locker rooms were horrible. But that was a real historic experience for me because I saw so many games in the Metrodome. Man, this is where I saw Randy Moss, just Moss people, John Randall, man, just back in those days, man, it was I love playing in those type vintage stadiums. So that was a definitely cool experience for me.